Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gaming CPA's channel. We are starting a January special of posting VODs. We are going to be targeting 4 VODs a week of 4 different game playthroughs. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of them. In today's episode, we are going to be starting a new playthrough of the game, the Riftbreaker. This is a resource management tower defense type of title, similar in ways to Factorio, but in a more organized fashion of having to hop planets to try to collect different resources and of course in the process destroy the local species.
Roger that. Begin field-based setup.
Houston, I've spotted something near the LZ. It's closing in.
As we drop into the game, you will notice we are right next to a geothermal vent, which is awesome. Sadly though, we can't tap into it until we research it. So our first priority of this episode is to set up an initial base, create a single line of defense / wall around that base, and upgrade our hub to level 2 by the end so that next episode we can start researching. But of course, priorities are mining the raw resources and eventually setting up miners to automatically mine them for us. The nice thing about this game is that once you place a miner, the resources are automatically added into your inventory / storage, which means you can be halfway across the map and build a new outpost and not need to worry about running back and forth, grabbing items from inventories, which is awesome. Now, if you have watched other resource games, you know there are your 2 typical starting resources, copper and iron. In this game, they are called carbonium and ironium. So that's what we are going to target first. We will need a lot of these raw materials to get going, so building a large infrastructure in the early game is crucial to fund our endeavors later down the line. A lot of defenses and early structures are mostly built with just carbonium, so I'm going to focus mostly on that here in this episode. But if I spot ironium, I'll pick that up along the way. I can technically build what's called a carbonium power plant, but that will consume carbonium, and since I want to collect as much of that as possible, I don't want to waste any power in my base. Instead, we are going to build a biomass power plant. Biomass is collected whenever I swing my sword through the greenery. You will see on the right side of my screen some leaves collected. Again, this goes into my universal inventory to then be automatically burned in my biomass power plant, creating electricity or power. It's a very good early game power source until we can get some renewable energy up and running, like my wind turbine farm. Also, like Factorio and building power poles, if you click on the energy connector and hold the mouse button down while dragging it across the screen, the game will auto build the connectors at the maximum distance from the previous one. This saves you time and energy from having to manually click each time to build an energy connector. Each mining facility or factory covers a 3x3 grid, so I always try to maximize the coverage so that I can cover the whole pile of raw materials with the minimal number of miners. Later, we can upgrade these to level 2 or level 3 factories for higher output. Next, we want to start placing some defenses. So I build the wall and a gate. That allows me some defense as well as a way to quickly get out and attack the creatures that are going after my walls. I also place little rift portals, as these will allow me to fast travel to the different areas of my base. So if I'm being attacked on the opposite side of my base, I can quickly hop to that area and defend the base. I recommend setting up as many of these as you possibly can throughout your base to minimize the amount of running you will need to do. Also, a smart thing to do when building your defenses is use the natural defense of the nature. Large rocks and enormous trees act as barriers and, therefore, free walls. I built up some supply storages so that my factories don't ever feel the need to stop working and can always store more and more goods for future use. I ended up defending my base successfully against the first wave of attack. The game asked me to build 6 defense turrets, but I didn't, and you really don't have to. The first wave of attack is very weak, but as you progress further in the game and upgrade your main hub, they will become more and more difficult. To me though, it wasn't worth the waste of resources, as simple walls can hold them back while you smack them with your sword. We've almost fully surrounded our initial base with walls and are just grabbing the final resources, which will produce about 18 carbonium a second when it's fully powered. Turns out my baby wind turbine farm isn't enough, so it's time to expand it. Not only that, but adding in batteries can do wonders to storing and maintaining electricity, as there will be wind shortages, so having backup power is always a must. Of course, our most important segment, today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by the awesome one and only Super Spouse. My wife is an amazing woman, and her support for me and the channel makes me the luckiest content creator out there. A big thank you to her for the support and for sponsoring this video. I build the first AI limiters in the game. They are needed for creating defense turrets. I trigger the first upgrade of the hub, and that means I only have a few minutes to set up defenses before a new wave of attack comes in. I protect the corners from which I expect the attacks to come, and then wait for the enemy. Come out wherever you are. Crap, it was on my wrong part of the base. Oh well, let me just quickly rift over there and defend it. Easy peasy, and that, folks, is a wrap for our initial base. Next episode, though, we will go ahead and explore the tech tree and see what kind of technologies we can research to help better our base in future expansion. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the video and want to leave a like, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that you get notified when I go live or post more VODs for the January special, that would be amazing. Until next time though, maximize your deductions and pay less in taxes. Have a great day.